A father's tears fall like the rain. A mother's cries locked in pain. No gavel should steal what love has made. This war at home needs a barricade. We fight for hearts we won't forsake. No more lives for the system to break. Stand as one, make parenting great. Together we'll rewrite fate. The family fire keeps us alive, but cold hands threaten what should thrive. Shadows creep where justice should glow. It's time to end this silent woe. Paper lies bear the weight of loss, but souls aren't sold, there's no cost. Hold the line, don't break or bend. This battle we'll defend. We fight for hearts we won't forsake. No more lives for the system to break. Stand as one, make parenting great. Together we'll rewrite fate. Stop the greed and close the door. No more games, no keeping score. Chains of love should not be pried. No more tears where victims reside. Stop the greed and close the door. No more games, no keeping score. Chains of love should not be pried. No more tears where victims reside.
Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just the mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. I am the CPS Punisher. This is CPS Victims Hunting Justice. We got these chats that are right here. Hello to everybody that's out there. Thank you for getting in here tonight. I know we're a little bit late, but when are we not? So thank you all for staying around. We got a packed house tonight. We're going to be talking about some interesting things. So let's just get it on, right? We'll just let everybody out of their cages. What's up, everybody? Where's Brenda? There she is.
How you doing, Vinny? How you doing, Don?
Oh, look at that. Brenda's head's bobbling. That's freaking awesome. What's up, everyone?
So cool.
What do we got?
How you doing?
What do we got? Who's going first? Who's numero one? Who's got something for us?
I got something for
I
you.
just want to answer your question from yesterday.
All right.
You had said to come on the show. There's going to be a lot of times I can't come on because they're calling me into work. A lot of people are banging out, and they're asking me to come in and, to pick up the slack. So I'll come on as often as I can, but I can get on mostly not on. You know what I mean? Like I could see you guys, listening to you guys. I could type to you guys, but I may not be able to get on based on my job.
Gotcha. What you're going to be a caseworker now?
No, I wish I could. I can't. I'm a therapist, so
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of clients, and I got a lot of I have a lot of charts. Like last night, I was doing charts around a lot of people. When you asked me to come on, and I knew it would be a lot of noise.
Yes. Well, we know that you'll be with us in spirit, Herbert.
Yeah, I know. I'll come on. You'll see me on typing. I may be typing from time to time,
Right.
but I may not be able to get on like this all the time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's good. That's good to know, Herbert. That's real good.
It's a working man. He's getting the job done.
Yeah, Herbert massage you. Josephine from New York, how are you? That's sweet. She shared us to other pages. Guys, I hold this documents in my realm. I've been talking about this since the beginning, but I really do believe that void ab initio is the only way that we're going to win this thing. And what you have to do with this is there's a few steps that you have to take, and then after that, you just go get your kid. I've written it up before. I've shown it to everybody, but nobody really seemed to haste on it. But this is it right here. This is the whole write-up that I've done. It comes with I'm going to start from the beginning. But I really do believe that, and they're trying to change void ab initio out of the courts. They're trying to get rid of it. They're trying to hide it with void judgment, voidable orders, void orders, all of these things. The thing with a true void ab initio is you don't have to have that adjudicated. It doesn't have to go in front of a judge. So I built this guide that has all the letters, and it's a pretty simple process. I believe this to work with anybody. This hasn't been done yet. I'm going to attempt to do this myself this week. I'm going to start doing this process. So we'll start marking that and see where it goes. But here's the deal, man. Documenting everything, collect everything that you have, put everything together. All of us are at that point anyway. So that's just, you don't need to even be in there. Now, you need to make sure that you look at laws and things like that around your area. If you have restraining orders or things like that against you from the foster families, you can't do this, because then you're going to be, well, actually, no. Now that I think about this, you could, because if you got the restraining order based off of your void from the start. So void ab initio means void from the beginning, means that it doesn't matter. It lacked everything. It's non-existent. And like I said, this is a dying thing. People are trying to get rid of this. You don't see it anywhere anymore. There's a little bit of the case law right here that you need to read about this stuff. But then what you do is you write a letter to CPS asserting their actions regarding your child are void ab initio due to lack of credible evidence. I put a letter in here that is that you can use. This is just a template for it. It says, I'm writing to formally assert that actions taken by Child Protective Services regarding the removal of my child on the date blah blah are considered void ab initio due to lack of credible evidence supporting such actions. Then you go ahead and you write your little spiel on there. There is some other things on there that you need to copy, and there's some case law things that go with it, so on. Violation of due process, improper use of authority, request for immediate action. Then it says, given that the actions taken by CPS are void ab initio, I request the immediate return of my child. If CPS does not comply with the request within so many days, 5 business days, I will have no choice but to seek the assistance of law enforcement to enforce this position and ensure the prompt return my child. So you send this to CPS, chances are good you're not going to hear back from them. Now what you've got yourself an affidavit of truth, pretty much saying that they agree to this matter. It doesn't matter anyway, because this is void. You go to the sheriff's department, you send them this letter. You say, explain the situation, contact the sheriff. They have tell them that CPS has unlawfully removed your child without sufficient evidence. You have informally notified CPS of your position, citing their actions, and then you're requesting assistance from the sheriff's department. Here's a letter for that you need to ask them about right there. Then you go on. You have requested the immediate return of your child from CPS, and my notice However, if CPS does not comply and return my child within so many days, I will need your assistance in enforcing my rights as a parent. I've included a copy of my notice to CPS for your reference. I appreciate your attention to this urgent matter and look forward to your assistance in returning the child. So you go on, right? You wait. Your days go up. You can't do you can't do anything right here. Like I said, prepare for possible resistance. Throughout this process, keep all your communications together. Keep everything that you can together, because what you're doing is you're building your file to go produce this to the courts. CPS may respond to your actions. Be prepared to clearly articulate your position and provide evidence that their actions were void ab initio. Because remember, you don't have to go in front of the judges for this, because what they've done is so ridiculous that they don't need this. You do a follow-up with the law enforcement, let them know where they're at there, tell them, you haven't heard back or you have heard back, whatever they've done. Let's see here. Then there's a bunch of definitions, case law and stuff like that goes in here.
And guys, if you have closed cases, these can be used to also file in your appeals. And then you can go through detailed lists and stuff like that for that. Especially if they had a jurisdictional issue, that would be something. It's void ab initio because of due process. You didn't have jurisdiction. It was a constitutional matter. You didn't give up jurisdiction. That's a violation of due process and your rights. That's what you would put in there, and everything is catered to your own situation on that. So even existing cases, you're in a case, you're just in a case, or your case is closed and you're getting ready to kind of go back through it and file appeals and everything else. All of this is relevant to the void ab initio.
Right. And so what you're going to do is if you do or you don't get their response back from them or responses, then you're going to go to the courthouse and you're going to file this under your file. You're going to file this paperwork into your case files. Either you're going to start a new one, or if your old ones are there, you file it in there. Either way, you need to get it filed through your courts, because now you're going to have an official order from the courts. Once the clerk puts it in there, stamps it and everything else, it's a void ab initio. They have to file it as an order. It does not have to be adjudicated. It does not have to be adjudicated. Don't let them tell you it has to be. It does not. It's void ab initio. You take that, you take your order, you go to the sheriff's department again, you show them that order, and then, God willing, you get to go take your kid. I don't know if this will work. I don't know if it's what's going to end up happening, but like I said, I'm going to be the first one to see what goes on.
Whether or not you have a good sheriff's department that's going to not.
Well, that's the other thing too, correct?
That's the problem.
I mean, so guys, keep this in mind. Yeah.
Because you guys know the deal with me, but I would definitely like a copy of this. I don't know if I missed the shows or whatever. You might have showed this before, but yeah, I'm very interested. At least I can take some first steps, even if it's just a the law enforcement part.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, Steve, I will email it to you. Yeah, I mean, take a look at it. See what everything around is. I'm just saying, I just feel like I've been saying for so long that this thing is so simple that we've over exerted this what the CPS has done. And the reason that we can't win is because there's no reason for us to win, because this thing isn't a real entity. It's a falsity, and we have nothing to fight against them with, because it doesn't even exist, which is clearly a reason to have a void ab initio. That's it. And if you look up void ab initio, go ahead and look it up. You will see, and look up what the true meaning is. Like I said, they're trying to eliminate void ab initio. It's slowly going away, but it's not going to, because we're going to make this work, and hopefully it does work. And yeah, that's a little bits and pieces for you guys to look at. Try it if you want. Do what you want. Take what you will with it. But that's what I'm going to do. So
great job. I love it. There's a lot of people joining in. Hey, thanks for coming in, everybody.
What do you got for tonight there, Gun?
Oh, you sure you're ready for this?
I'm never ready, but let's do it.
Oh boy. Once again, you guys know that all of us here on the show usually take and have social media platforms, part of the different things to say. And we get several people that come to us and say, hey, this is kind of like what I'm going through, or hey, I need help. This is constantly going on. And as we have time, we kind of look through cases and kind of encourage, educate, so on and so forth with some people. But this one bothered me. And you're gonna see why. There we go. You see what that is?
What the hell is that?
CPS has said that the family is a flight risk. So they have put GPS trackers on the baby, the mom, and the dad.
Are you
because
kidding?
a caseworker went in and said, we need to monitor them and make sure they're not going to flee the state.
And
So with no conviction, no anything, they are being low-jacked.
For that, I was wondering because they tried to get me to get one
That's
of these.
against the law.
They have to pay for it.
Well, supposedly this is a new program that they're doing that they are, from my understanding, this is part of a federal grant or something that is being done on. So instead of them getting cameras, they're putting it into, because I think it was classified as so much in new equipment. So they're going to put it into trackers rather than cameras for their CPS workers. And these people are from an inner city, larger area. But they are scared shitless. It's like, well, what do? We can't anything. They know our every movement. I mean, you talk about a mass invasion of privacy with no conviction. They're not even out on parole or bail or anything. And they have, just because they said, hey, well, we're not going to separate you or try to do it. We're just going to put monitors on you so we can keep an eye on you
It's
and
slavery.
make sure that you're not going to run.
It's slavery for sure. Wow. This is unbelievable.
So the horror stories we hear and the stuff sometimes people share with us would blow your fucking mind. And it's like, where's the Constitution? I expected that. That's chaining somebody up in their home. Or, hey, let's just combine somebody into their home to where they can't work, make a living, or eat, or anything. We wouldn't know anything about that. Or take our resources or do that. I mean, the idea is to put you into, this is a whipping at the whipping post, is what this is. Comply, 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 comply. If you don't, and of course, this family's like, all we want to do is keep our family together. This is bullshit.
Yep.
I'm like, I asked them, I said, are you under arrest? Are you all like part of something? And they're trying, they go, no. CPS thought that we were a thing, and this is part of some kind of new program they got going, and they low-jacked the whole fucking family.
And why would they agree to this? So here's my thing. Like, why are these people agreeing to have that done?
Because of threatening and intimidation, the same way that they contract. You will do this, or we will go to the judge, and we'll have your kid taken away. Of course you're going to comply. This is going on across the nation. But once again, not everybody's like that, Benny. A lot of people out there, especially mothers and single mothers, are uneducated. They don't know their rights.
Well, they better start educating themselves on these fucks.
Benny, there was a point in time. Listen, if you knew now what you knew then you would be in a different situation. But you complied. They took your kids. Like, you complied as well, my man.
No. I did not comply. She did.
Okay, well, either way, I'm just saying that you're in these situations. It's tough. It's tough. We take your kid or you put a bracelet on. I know that when they came for my kid, I was like, holy shit, I'll say whatever I have to say to get them out of here right now. And hopefully keep on to my kid, which I did. And that's a lot of people's mindset. Like, they don't know. They're afraid. They want to say the right things. So they don't know. They don't know. And even if they knew better, they're so freaking scared to be in a lot of people have never even been in a position like this, to be a part of a false authority breathing down your neck and stealing your gold chest. Like, they can't.
In
these
your
people,
home, your most sacred place. On top of it, I mean, they penetrate every part of you, and all of this is to control and manipulate you in every bit. Is any of it legal? No. Is any of it constitutional? No. But people allow it to happen because, well, that's why the president took and attacked the Department of Education. You've got a whole generation graduating from high schools now that can't write in cursive, let alone read the Bill of Rights. or the Constitution in its original format.
Well, let's just call it, Gunner, let's just call that as it is. They are transgender freaks because of this school system.
Okay, listen, this has been going on for a long time historically. This is not a recent thing. The erosion of this that came all the way from Rockefeller, that's funded the Department of Education. And when they said, well, we wanted to put out good citizens, he goes, I don't want good citizens, I want good workers. Well, then a different organization gets all this and manipulation, instead of stay out of everybody's lives. That was the point of not having big government, is where a lot of people have that position of is, I don't want them in my lives. Under my Constitution, we should have a small government because we, the people, are the government. There's the biggest other misconception. Those are elected and appointed officials. If we want them to stop, it's up to we, the people, to turn around and come together and get off our asses and quit dividing, no matter color, race, economic level, or anything, and come together and stop all this fighting and dissolution and saying, knock this shit off.
Okay, but if you're saying that...
Gunner, we have a new listener from New York. Her name is Josephine. She'd like to know what state is that in where they put the tracker on those kids?
I'm reaching, like I said, out to, this is something that has come my way. I don't disclose that, a lot of that information. You got to understand what
there's a whole big state. I could say it's Arizona. I mean, what state? Only because she's new. She's a new listener. Her name is Josephine. She's on with us, and she just asked what state. She's from New York.
Josephine, I am going to give you on certain topics, especially with this, is my constitutional right as press. I do not have to give out any more information than I feel that is comfortable for anybody that is a snooze. And I would hope you would respect that, as well as for their privacy. But also, it's not for me to reveal. That's for them to come through. They took a brave step forward just even showing this, and let alone they know they're being watched and everything else. They're scared with this shit that's going on. So let's keep that in there within our parameters, even within press. We still have that obligation, and guys. We are press, so let's make that clear also too.
Very good, Gunner. Very good. Because she's new, we like to keep her on with us. I don't want her to think that she's typing things and we're ignoring her. That's the reason why I'm glad you addressed that.
So, Vinny, hold up, Vinny. What were you going to say? No, Vinny? Oh, yeah, let Vinny go. Vinny, what were you going to say?
I wanted to touch on what Gunner said about we the people. Well, if we the people supposedly have the power, which was handed back to us in 2017 by our president, how come we the people cannot overturn everything that is going on in the United States and come together under one form and get rid of our government completely?
Well, once again, the misuse of let me stop, Benny, because you have to watch communicating that. Not get rid of our government.
We don't have the power. They do.
Get rid of the appointed and elected officials and actors. And we are slowly seeing a lot of that being peeled away. To say nothing's being done, there's a lot being done right now in our country. And we are slowly returning back to the Constitution. And that is the whole core of all of this from all sides. I mean, everything. It's constitutional. It's not constitutional. And that's what they're here to clean up. If it doesn't fall under the Constitution, it's on their radar. And the problem is there's just so much, because these states and these other things are so out of control for so long. Where do you get to the gut of them? CPS has got no damn teeth if you got no judges and magistrates. What are they going to do? Convince you to go in their program? There's no courts for them to run to do anything. Think about that for a minute. It's a smart play. Why go after CPS when I can go after the judges and magistrates and clean them up later?
Okay, but hear me out on that.
True.
Okay.
He's saying exactly what I've been saying all along. Yeah, for a while.
Yep, but hear me out on that. Okay, say they clean up these courts and blah blah blah. Okay. Meanwhile, all of us parents, all these kids are suffering because of these fucks.
I know it's a generic term.
Who are they? Who's their authority? Is their CPS authority? Is the
we own CPS? We the people own them. We pay their taxes.
Yes. You asked the question, Vinny, of all these kids are getting hurt and everything else. Whether you like it or not, in this country, we are not in a type of, we'll say, a traditional war. But understand, we are at war, but the casualties of war are our families and our kids.
I don't think so. That should not be.
But once again, it shouldn't be. I'm agreeing with you. But once again, we're having to take this back and tell them to stop or terminating these things. And it's slowly, you're seeing it, all of the corruption starting to get peeled back. I mean, you guys are in Maine. How much news have you had on Maine of all the corrupt, unconstitutional
They don't give a shit, man. They don't give a shit. They really don't.
I get it with what you're saying, but understand there's still something else working. The DOJ, the FBI is trying to get control of the FBI and clean house there. They already did that with New York when they didn't turn over the Epstein files. Patel went straight over there to New York City and go, what the fuck's going on? And he did a little house cleaning out there, guys. I know that didn't make the big news, but they're starting to clean shit up and get rid of this liberalism. And listen, this ain't just happening here. This is happening in Canada. They're awake of the disease called liberalism, and that's what they're calling it. And listen, this is going worldwide. This is that one world order thing that they wanted us to go to where we were there was no borders. It was all this different thing, one money system. That's what we were being pushed towards.
It's not just
our
about
officials were going for it.
It's not just about that, because everyone thinks that it's the liberals, the Democrats, and the Republican Party is the strongest party. Okay, let me inform you of something that happened this past weekend. We had a rally here in Maine, okay? A rally that was put together to fight for our girls not having men and women's sports, okay? Do you think our representative, Laurel Libby, the one who has been on the news up here, showed up for this fucking rally? Not once. And we've had two. She's had an excuse the whole entire time.
That's politics. And the only way to take and do that is find someone that's willing to run against them with different views and elected by the people. And if the people of that area decide they want to do that, that's fine. But understand, anything that they do still has to be constitutional. And that's the whole thing. The corruption has gone on to where the checks and balances was supposed to be. CPS came in with this. They were there supposed to be just help as advocates of the court or friends of the court when they were needed. And that wasn't always the case until they weaponized it and did what they've done under the Clinton administration and the Obama administration by weaponizing it with executive orders, with giving bonuses to get more people to adopt out. So once the product ran out, I mean, you got to have product. That's the basic 101 cycle of any business is product. You run out of product, what happens? I mean, you don't have it. And then your product runs safe. Well, those are people that are traceable. They have social security numbers. What's easier to traffic, guys? Howard or Herbert, what's the easiest thing to traffic? A U.S. citizen or an illegal immigrant?
A citizen, man.
A citizen. Easy to traffic a citizen.
Let's just put it this way. They want our children for their goddamn blood. End of story.
There are many things. I do agree with you, Vinny, that
did I get the answer right, Gunner? Did I get your answer right?
We're good to go, Herbert. We're good to go.
Okay.
Yes, their blood, Brenda. Yes, their blood. They want our children for their.
It's the adrenochrome. The adrenochrome is what they want.
Anyways, it's on the thing. But guys, it's more than that. It's the amount of perversion, rituals,
Pedophiles,
people,
satanic people, satanic cults,
I mean,
all that stuff.
all of this stuff that's going on. This is a combination. This is a multi-layered organization. Everything from the basis of the most sickest things in the world to the simplest thing of greed. And when they can blackmail somebody, like, come on. We knew about the madams. We knew about, all these different prostitute stuff that was going on in DC, stuff going on in Diddy. I mean, come on. How much shit are they pulling strings behind the thing to bury shit because they don't want to get caught?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you've got weak people we're sending to represent us that have no morals and no ethics, and this is not all of them, but a majority of them. They've got something on them, and then you add you got somebody that has no skill set whatsoever, and we'll give you comparisons of people on most.
You're never going to find the perfect person. The bottom line is you're never going to find the perfect person that will come out and run in politics. It'll never happen. So you got to just pick and choose between the lines who is the best and who is not. And you know what? As long as they're not pedophiles, then that should be enough to be able to run on. But you're not. You're going to get people that have, there's a reason why they left sex in the closets of the homes, and that's because you don't have these problems.
Yeah.
They were accused of having sex with prostitutes, underage or whatever, when in actuality, those weren't prostitutes at all. Most likely they were victims of CPS and or just being, pimped out. I don't know what you want to say. I'm telling you that, that's why it's been so difficult, because some of these senators and congressmen are surely into this stuff. I mean,
well, the biggest thing that we need to watch with some of that stuff too is all this damn lobbying and this campaign contributions, and put a lot of stuff. I mean, put some caps and limits on some of these things to where I'm not going to donate it as a company. I'm going to donate it as a person or as a shell corporation. And then you get so many of these shell corporations that they're uncovering that actually come from one head that's just giving, $500,000 just from 5 different companies that they all control. I mean, and they're trying their best with the oversight, but take away the fucking lobbying and give you a check. And then, some of them suggested, if you're going to vote on something, you sure as hell shouldn't fucking profit from it. I mean, like insider stock trading and some of the other things that have come out. I mean, a lot of this is you're not sent there to be rich. There's the problem. Here's an idea. Why don't you take people struggling or a family that's struggling in the system, Section 8 and everything else, and that area take that one person that has that and send them into Congress, into the House, to represent the people that are homeless or Section 8. Hey, we need trouble, we need help here.
Servants, isn't that right? If they are our public servants, they're our servants. Okay, that's what they're supposed to be doing, is serving we the people.
Hold on. Yep, I got to do it.
What you got to do, Vinny?
What you gotta do?
Vinny, what you gonna do?
Listen, just listen.
Today's ceremony, however, is very special. Because today, we're not dealing from one administration from one party.
Not good.
It's fading in and out.
Can't hear, bud.
Hold on. We need to.
What is it, Vinny? What's the date on it?
Summarize it.
There is no date on it.
Can you hold it closer to the mic? Can you bring it closer to the mic?
Vinny, I'll search it right now. Let's see if I can pull it up.
But anyways, I didn't even get a chance to say nothing as far as what I was going to tell y'all what I was working on. I got my this done. What are they calling it? It's just like a short little story, whatnot.
I just sent it to you, Darren.
Okay.
And besides, I talked to a gal that was in South Palm Beach, Florida, and not only her 5 children have been taken by CPS, she also, she's telling me all about the kids and other ages and all this other stuff. And I tell you, and then she messages, well, by the way, I forgot that I was also a foster child and apparently a victim of Epstein. So yeah, and she gave me the judge's name that was involved with that. And I mean, if we can grab together, these, big problems, and there's so many cases where children are dying. There's, deaths within the foster. I mean, just happening. It seems to be, to me, almost like a daily basis. Some child is dying in state's care. But it's just, that's what I think. I think, everybody, I say, you know what they say, get your ducks in a row, because I'm saying I haven't had mine in a row. I'm telling you, I'm getting it together now, because you guys, nobody wants to be left behind if we got something big happening. And ultimately, get those judges arrested. The court appointed attorneys, they are also committing these crimes. Okay, these court appointed officers. Okay, you have to just look up. If you don't remember the names, get it all. Have all your court dates. Make sure you have them all. I suggest getting the court media, but I can tell you they don't want you to have the court media, because it really shows the demeanor of these individuals that would that would perjure themselves in court. Like, okay, well, thank you for letting me talk, but.
What'd you just say? That was it, Brenda?
Hmm?
That was it? That's just where you stopped? You just stopped mid sentence?
Well,
Brenda does that a lot, though.
believe me, I've been going on and on. But I couldn't believe that, what this girl's telling me. I mean, she's sending me this stuff, and I'm like, it'd be so much easier if they could just answer these questions in a row and make it easier on the people that are trying to get this all together. I mean, if somebody's doing it, not even asking for a dime. I mean, so. Everybody email me if you want. I mean, and throw your story in there. Throw some pictures in there of you and the kid. And I think, if we can hit them all at the same time in each state, or as many in each state as we can. I mean, it all has to be synchronized, I would say, I guess.
Synchronized it is. Yeah, everybody together and everybody hitting it all at once. Is that the way it's going to go, though? Is that the way the case is going to work out? Is that it'll be all at once, or is it going to be state by state?
Well, yeah, that is the question. It's like, how would you do that? If you had somebody in each state, well, what you find out is your U.S. Attorney General's office. Okay, see what their procedures are. If I was to file something, can I walk in with it? Do you prefer I email it? Do I e-file it? I mean, what is their protocol for doing something like this? And don't even tell them what it's going to be. Find out ahead of time. Because I think you guys, the more you know about who your U.S., I mean, your county, wherever you are, there's regions, right? Your county and your state of your U.S., okay, federal U.S. Attorney General, okay? I know I found out in Florida, in my region, it happens to be a lady that just started out in January, appointed by Trump, and she's been involved with trying to help with human trafficking. So to me, this is a good person to be turning some stuff into and say, hey, hello, look at this, And by the way, I mean, you have that case in Pennsylvania with the Kids for Cash. You've got, I don't know, about 10 different cases going on in California. I mean, if like I say, the more we can get in each state, the better. I mean, if people, it's just simple to it take you a day, get the questions answered, get your pictures. Maybe you want to do a little video, short video, add it to it, and and just your little like what were they calling it? I'm gonna look up the word because they put it. What did she say? And it was to describe the way it was described. I'm like, oh, that's a good way to describe. Like it's kind of like your story or your testimony, but they have a better word, and I'll tell you when I find it.
All right.
There's some good people out here trying to get some things together, and I see a lot of like this. Well, especially from one particular lady that's out in has a case in Tennessee, but I mean she's really helping a lot of people out and doing some organizing. Plus, she's she's got a job. She's got everybody's got things they got to do besides this. Okay, whether it be go clean your damn dishes or something. It can't be, constant. It's got to have to be some breaks in there. But I mean, to take the time to help somebody else when everybody's got their own thing going on, I mean, that's a great thing.
I agree, 1,000%. Pack it up, man. Pack it up.
Darren, you gonna play that video?
Yeah, I actually got a better version of it for us. So here we go.
Oh, it's called a victim's impact statement. So,
victim's impact statement.
Statement of
Write
how
those down, people.
Getting your kids taken away impacted you.
Impacted. There you go, Benny.
The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. The ceremony, however, has very special meaning because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Give it back, guys.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left and the factories closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
How is that, Vinny? All right. So what's to be said? What do we got?
So if we have the power and it was given back to we the people, it is time for we the people to make our voices known to these people.
We can always do that, my brother. That's fine. We can't have, listen, like I said before, we can't have a bunch of everybody's running around making this country their country and everybody wants the power and this, that, and the other. We can't have that. There needs to be some sort of order put into place. That's why there's population control. That's why they've been trying to trim this stuff down, because you can't just have everybody running around. There's always, and the government is here to Constitution to make sure that this country is running by they're here to defend and protect the Constitution and us and the values in it. That's supposed to be what Washington is about. So we're always going to have a government because they've put that into place. We need to have a government to watch over, to make sure that everything that's going on stays amongst the Constitution. The problem is, are the people that we have put into office, which we have put these people into office, have not done their jobs, and the idiots out there that vote for them continue to vote for them. So That's the problem, Vinny. That's the problem when it comes to this.
We got to start getting. I want to answer this question that my baby put in there. You want to start a mass parent movement? How do we do that? Well, we have to gather every single one of these parents and every single one of these grandparents that are in all these groups across every single platform and get them to unite into one group.
That's what we're about. That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do for 3 years. That's why Pack It Up is the whole thing, you know?
But like Darren said to me once before, because I brought that same thing up, Vinny, and he said, because a lot of times parents have issues letting people know what's going on in their life with their children, and that's why they don't come out. So there's a lot of parents
the stigma they call that.
I mean, Darren explained it to me. Darren explains it to me very well.
That they can't
And
be simple task. I mean, literally, guys, all it is you answer some freaking questions, write up what you feel how this has impacted your life, and just get your state in there. You guys know what your case number is. You all been through it. And you know who those judges were. You probably can't forget their names, and the people.
This is why we need a government.
Because you got to arrest them before you can think about touching these freaking CPS workers and sue the hell out of them. Yes, after that. But really, it's not about the money. But the money will come after these judges are put where they're supposed to be. I mean, you hear what Trump's saying about some of these judges? There was someone on there today. Who saw that? I can't remember exactly what they said, but Fox News was saying, look what Trump said about this freaking judge.
When the judges are gone, who's going to adjudicate where the money goes?
Huh?
Yeah. Who's going to adjudicate the money when the judges are gone?
Well, I got a petition going, but I've only got 35 people.
AI judges.
I have a petition going to abolish CPS, but you think that would get out there to people? I've shared it out there. And
I've been doing this. I've been doing this for 4 years, dude. I've had 27 people on my other website. You know what I mean? Like, you can't look at it. It's little challenges, and don't do this if you're trying to be the size of it. Do it because you just got to get the word out, man. If you get one person out there who either can get their kid back or one person just to send the message, then it's all worth it. This is not. Look at what I can do. And you know what? Here's the misconception. It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy because everybody loves kids. No, you know what? Everybody hates everybody else's kids. You know, like, that's the way it is. No one gives a shit until it's their own kids. Period. End of story. And that's the way this movement's going to be. Everybody hates everybody else's kids. That's a fact.
I'm not sure how to say your name, but Miss Hampton, hey, y'all, have you heard? Now I just lost it. Have you heard from Mr. Bain? I don't know who Mr. Bain is. I saw his recent Facebook post.
Yeah, Bain is safe.
About him.
Bain is safe. I talked to him yesterday. Bain is safe. Okay. Hampton.
All right,
don't worry.
No. Yeah, because I was also worried about Danielle. I talked to her for quite a while today. Everything's doing good with her. And her son is getting the medical treatment he needs.
Good.
Well,
but yes, Bain is safe. Very safe.
Let's talk about that video for a second, because you scratch the surface of that one particular video. But most people don't know this, or most people don't realize what that was. That was a military ceremony of the President of the United States turning the power of the country over to the United States military because we have been overrun. Is what that was. And you got to know who's sitting there, what those mean, and everything else, with who was sitting there, their positions and everything else. That was a ceremony turning the power of the country over that, because we have been overthrown. And that's exactly what he's coming out. They never stopped any of the investigations. They never stopped any of the investigations into the Obama birth certificate, that sheriff out of Arizona, North Carolina, or New Jersey, or New Mexico, that started it, continued with it. The military's been tracking this. The other signs were, what is one thing that you've always seen next to a president? The United States Marines. They weren't there anywhere near the last administration anywhere. Why? The office was empty. It was under military. That's why there was no power other than signing a bunch of stuff for making deals and stuff like that.
Okay.
It was very limited.
So let's explain that even more to them, Gunner, because not only did our president step aside, he has still been the president.
It would begin fall under wartime presidency. Yes.
Yep. He stepped aside to show the corruption that was going on in Washington.
He stood back and he watched them do exactly what I try to tell every person going through a case is this: give them enough rope, they're going to hang themselves. And it happens every time. Give them enough rope to hang themselves. And a lot of this is cleaned up. There's a lot of changes that went on that if you don't know, you don't know. What you're talking about, that is being returning it back to the people. With the way to return it back to the people is you've got to gut what's in there now. It was either that or you're talking Civil War guns and everything. If there's a safe way to make that transition and go back to the Constitution, which is what we've done and what we're doing, then that was the safe alternative. You got to remember, that's a strategic thing. You don't always, what's the old saying? When you need to drive a nail, choose the right hammer. You know what I'm saying? Don't use the wrong one. Don't use the small one. Use the right one for the job. And that's the most important thing, that there is a game of chess going on and has been going on.
You make that up. If you're going to drive a nail, use the right hammer. That's not no old saying. I've never heard that before in my life. The old saying, you're going to drive a nail, get the hammer.
Have you never heard that? That was an old carpenter saying. My grandfather, I mean, he was in the unit and everything else. It was the whole thing of, if you're going to drive, pick the right hammer for the right nail. If you got a big old spike, you're going to need the bigger hammer. And you're not going to come in with a tack hammer to sit there and drive a 16-penny nail. I mean, it was just one of the...
Yeah, I get it. I don't know about an old saying. That's all I'm saying.
Have you not? That's crazy, man. I mean, I heard that all the time. Grab the right hammer.
Herbert, you're the oldest one in the crowd. Have you ever heard that saying before?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Brenda's all right. Brenda's agreeing too.
Okay.
Herbert, have you heard it?
I gotta show you guys something.
Oh boy, what's she gonna come out wearing?
My story from last summer.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I was falsely arrested.
What did I tell you?
What did
Because
he say?
somebody said this hammer right here that was engraved, and says it was to my husband for my son, that said, "Thank you for helping me build my life." And it was on the floorboard of my car, and somebody said it was a gun and described the gun to detail. And he made up the whole story. And these are the same county that stole my kids and my husband. So anyways, the reason he got him this is because we were living out in New Hampshire, and we lived in the mountain. Every time Chris is losing his hammer, all the time, my husband losing his hammer.
Christine.
And finally, it was like a hawk would be the one that go and run up the hill to go borrow the neighbor's hammer. And God forbid, after he finally went to medical school and all that, he gives him this gift when we were living in Florida. So, yeah, it was sent in the mail. I remember that. It was actually when it first started doing that with the Amazon sending stuff or whatever. Anyway.
Anywho's.
Not a gun.
All right, let's go down that rabbit hole then, since we're on the rabbit hole. Darren, I just sent you a link. Key that up.
Damn, Vinny, your mom did snitched on you. Your mom on there goes, "I've heard it. She just didn't pass it on to you." The same way with the screwdriver.
Make sure you screw the light bulb in the right way. What?
No, it says that, and make sure you have the right screwdriver for the right job too. Don't show up with a Phillips and not a flathead.
You got, you need the flathead. How many times have you grabbed the wrong screwdriver? Come on, guys, be honest.
Vinny, you should put your mom on. You should tell your mom to come on sometimes. I know when I spoke to her for about an hour, she has a lot to say. When I spoke to your mom on the phone, She has a lot of information.
Pay attention, guys.
Christy, you better hit me up again. I ain't heard from you in a while.
Is that a video you're putting on?
Oh, shit.
I see a video, but I don't see no action.
Play it. Play it again, Sam. Is somebody
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Can I entertain in the meantime? Okay, anybody had some good jokes lately? You know, that's what you're talking about. Laughter's the best medicine, right?
Through the military regaining control after lawful civilian authority is put into power as the American people voted for. And then that lawful civilian authority will administer the direction that the country goes through the military regaining control of these locations and facilities so that we can get our country back for American citizens' benefit, not for a bunch of globalist, pedophile thugs and Satan-worshiping thieves the way that they want it to be. With the things that are going to happen here shortly, the mainstream media, as it currently exists, is trying to program people's minds to think that what will happen, what must happen, is somehow the makings of a civil war, that it's somehow illegal or unjust. It's the exact opposite. It's not illegal or unjust. It is the lawful exercise of the people's will by the military, protecting the people's will in the Constitution. And to the extent that they will twist that, they become irrelevant themselves. They've picked a side, and it's against the American people. The new media that you represent properly explaining this, properly putting it in perspective for people. You're valid because you represent reality, and you represent the will of the American people, and you represent the right of the American people to have that conversation and make it happen. The fact that we're going to come after these monsters and displace them out of office and take control of the country may not be pleasant and easy, but it's what has to be done. And in working that through, it's not a civil war. It's a revolutionary war. The attack came from foreign shores. America had a revolution against the bloodlines, the king, the Brits. And that's why the Constitution was written, this alliance, this coming together of the states against what had become a foreign enemy. Washington, D.C., in the way that it's administering against the American people, doing the bidding of foreign masters, promoting this false Russian collusion thing, and protecting a fake vote, a false vote, a digital Pearl Harbor against America, has become the enemy of the American people in the way it administers. And so we're in the middle of a revolutionary war against foreign entities taking over power and control in our country. That's America coming together against a foreign enemy. If you hear people saying that we're having a civil war, that we're destroying things internally, that we're supposedly going with pitchforks to do whatever, no, we're not. This isn't a civil war, and we're not going to burn down our own house to save it. We're going to catch those monsters by the tail, and we're going to throw them and get them. We're going to retake lawful authority of government operations in America, and we're going to do it through a legal, proper means, which is get the executive that we voted for.
We're going to take back the White House, and sooner than you think, it's going to be really something special.
Back into office, and then that executive that we voted for is going to make the correct decisions to safely bring America back together again, and take it away from those who are illegal, who are unlawful, who are not the ones we voted for. And we're not going to burn our own house down. We're not going to tear it apart. Even if we have agent provocateurs that are put into our midst trying to pull it off, we, the American people, will pull them down off the buildings. We'll stop them clubbing the windows out. If they open up the doors and try and invite us to do wrong, we're not going to do it en masse. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people were there present at Congress on January 6th and never entered the building unlawfully. A handful that might have to look around. with some major provocateurs that did some mischief, well, that's a little different story, but we're not going to fall for that. And we see how we're being baited to fall for that. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to support our military, the people that are our fellow citizens in these lawful positions, to go do what they have to do under the law authorities' direction as we take our country back. And that's not a civil war. That's a revolutionary war against foreign enemies operating on U.S. soil with treasonous, seditious, traitorous cooperation by some Americans who themselves have shown that they don't deserve the title American.
Saying this or whatever. Tired of tyranny, tired of tyranny.
Yep. We had a choice. We're going to and we're going to do it legally. That way we show the people this is not an overthrow, this is a correction.
Just like they've also said that there could be a blackout and a thing happening with our grid. So they have been kind of warning us that something might be going down sooner than later.
Let's talk about this grid. One, you do realize, and I hope everybody does realize, we have the oldest infrastructure in the world. That power was founded here in the United States, and how to meter it and charge for it was done right here in the United States. Our infrastructure is the oldest in the world. And a lot of the stuff where we made a lot of good money with companies like General Electric and a few other companies, especially early on, they were the only place you could get transformers from, or some of these other parts, and how to fabricate dams and all these other power stations, let alone we led the whole thing in nuclear energy. That goes all the way, into that and even further beyond as we begin to continue to progress. But it's an old system, and we do not spend enough money on repairing, updating, upgrading this and that. They are starting to do some of it in certain areas, and like I said, I'm in the area where the nuclear bomb was made. Let's just put it that clear. Where they were dropped on Japan.
That was
Hey, Gopeki, guys, Gopeki Tepe is the oldest infrastructure in the world.
The electrical infrastructure?
Well, this just gave me oldest infrastructure in the world.
Well, infrastructure, that could mean plumbing, sewage, some of those other
Made by
things.
humans that's still standing today. It was built before we even had the wheel.
Yeah. I meant electrical. Thanks for the correction, Derek. I meant electrical infrastructure, that we have the oldest, because that how the power was distributed.
Oh, democracy.
As modern was actually set up.
You're correct, Christy. He does, because Elon already put out to the public that if our system goes down, he will provide the power for us and get us back online. The only thing that will be affected is cell phones and stuff.
Now, one thing I would like to see is all these major corporations and everything that have bought up patents and filed patents that are holding on to technology and not letting it out. I think we need to seriously address that as a nation. I mean, there's companies out there that have had technology such as electric cars, hydrogen cars, everything else, but it was suppressed because a lot of these other big companies like gasoline companies, fossil fuels, car companies, Ford, Chevrolet, GM, all those other ones, bought all that technology up, and then they just bury it because they own it. They don't have to use it. How much we're behind.
You realize that we could power our own house, our own entire house, just on 2 things of fucking water.
All right, guys, we're going way out of the CPS thing, and we're over time. Let's hit it. Let's do some last words here. I don't want to see where this thing's going to go. Herbert, as always, kick us off.
As I said, if you knew better from before, you would have done better, and your situation would not be the same. With that said, stay in there, hang in there, fight, fight, fight.
Oh yeah. Words from the champ. Brenda.
Oh yeah, and Christy's right. History repeats itself, and I just wanted to read you a little part of my thing where I just say, everything that my husband and I did was for our children. We live for our children and do anything for them. I still don't understand how these monsters, because I heard that on that tape that you were playing, it said monsters, so would take a child away from a loving, caring, and protective parents. I think I'm doing a show tomorrow, right, guys, at 3?
Yep, 3 o'clock. Bring back Brenda.
Then, all right, so stay tuned.
Got it?
Avoid the twilight zone of CPS.
Twilight Zone. I feel like I'm living in a Twilight Zone. You're right about that, Herbert. Bow on that one.
Guys, if you're having issues with suicide, depression, I know it's rough. Find somebody that you can talk to and get through this. Do not give up hope. We are on the cusp of something great and massively happening. I can tell you that from a very good source, something is coming. Something is coming big, and when it does, our hopes, our prayers, and the way everything goes, that it will have such a huge impact to pull the curtain back. And they're slowly getting there. Understand, we're on a good track. We're working to fix things, and that's the beauty of our Constitution and our country, is that when we do make mistakes, there are ways to correct it, do it the right way, not do it violently or bloody, as it does have a possibility to take and go. But I'm glad it's taking this route. Is all I can say, and I look forward to the day that the Constitution is truly held to where it should be in our country, taught to our children, taught to make sure that this never happens again, and to protect themselves and educate them, and also to hold our elected and appointed officials and actors accountable and not think they're above the law. And their oath is something serious, even though they don't take it as that. They need to take it that serious, even to the point that you do understand that an act of treason, especially of a severe thing, means a one-way ticket to Gitmo before a military tribunal. And once found guilty, you will have your life ended one of 5 ways. And that's where we need to get back to, is knock this shit off and have some consequences for some actions.
Oh, one more thing, if I can say, don't forget about the parents either, because not only are they stealing our children away from them, they're stealing adults, elderly adults or whatever. My husband's been a veteran, and he's been in prison for now 357 days. Let's not forget, I'm his biggest fan. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Vincent.
I don't know. You've all kind of covered some of the stuff that I was going to say, but I'm going to say this. It's time to take down these pedophile judges, these pedophile teachers, and all these pedophiles in every single party.
Yep, it is. It is. That is the facts. No, and don't forget, guys, as hard as it gets for you, don't forget it's just as hard for these kids that are sitting there wondering where they are and all of that. So, like Gunnar said, if you're having some nasty thoughts in your heads, call someone, look out for us, look for someone, call us, call 988, call someone, because don't let your kids come home to find out that their parents are gone for good. So, children, guys, tomorrow night, same time, same place, Tiffin the Punisher. We got Brenda on tomorrow at 3. I'm pretty sure Unmasking's on tomorrow. Vinny, you don't have anything tomorrow, right? You're Thursday?
Thursday, but you're going to have to do Brenda because I have my counseling as always tomorrow.
Yep, I got it. So, tomorrow for 3 o'clock, it's Brenda. But as for now, I'm the CPS Punisher. We are out of here.
Later, Gators.
getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, blind, not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheek. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. 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 One day, one day, one day. One day I hope you see the truth. This bottle stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one